If you are enjoying the story so far and need more Dungeons and Dragons in your life, I invite you to check out another group called the Long Past Podcast. They are working their way through heroism and tragedy in the events of the Chragan War. Their name and link are in the description below. In their search for Crusovian war tribes, Adran, Thía, Del, and Varin are eager to earn their allegiance against the Hobgoblin menace. Drawing near to what may be the Thraw war tribe, the elves spotted and met otherworldly invaders, one group of at least two. What else is moving out there hunting for the Crusovian war tribe? Now let's get into it. Welcome back to the land of the hunter. Adran, Thía, Del, and Varin have traveled for 5 hours and 40 minutes before their fight and taking a short rest. The time is now 1:40 in the afternoon, leaving the elves 2 hours and 20 minutes of travel time before they have to start making saving throws against levels of exhaustion. Adran, you have half a written spell scroll, and Varin has briefly been infected by wriggling worm-like things, healed quickly by Del. Thía, you have one more night before you recover fully from your concussion in the canyon. We know where the groups of bad guys started from, so we know where to start tracking the other group from. From where we are currently, it will only take 20 minutes to get there, so we'll arrive around 2 in the afternoon. As we come back out of our short rest, I'm going to zoom out my map here a little bit. And the green line on the map indicates the trail we have taken thus far. Varin is going to go ahead. As we come out of our short rest, I'm completely out of first level spell slots. Wow, it's been a while since that happened. I'm going to go ahead and use a second level spell slot for Primeval Awareness because I want to know what else is out there. I assume you're all okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put Primeval Awareness in the chat just so that's available. Okay. So Varin, dusting off the blood and slime of that frog, blue-skinned toad-like creature, focuses his mind, frowns a little, glances at you, Adran. Uh-oh. I don't sense any aberrations, but I do detect fiends somewhere within 6 miles of us.
Well, we'll just have to be on the lookout.
So we head out towards where the enemies started from? Okay.
Yep.
In that case, we will move along. Thea, unless you have anything to add. I'm going to assume no. Nope, okay. Fair enough.
Nope.
Alright, Adran. As we draw near this strange structure out here in the desert, looking at it, you notice there's no material in this thing's construction. It's all wood and stone. There's nothing that would have given that reflection of light that first drew our attention.
No, there's nothing like that out here.
Can you, if you'd like, give me an Arcana check, sir?
Sure thing.
Thank you. An 11. There's something, I mean, there's clearly something magical about this strange place, or strange structure, but what exactly it is, not sure. Sorry to say, oh, that's a fail. You can try again if you want, as Varin starts scouting out for tracks.
All right. This time I'm going to reach deep down inside my inner soul and strike like the mighty elephant.
With knowledge. Wow. The same result. It's just, there's something eluding you about this place. It's strange.
I'm feeling a little constipated, if you know what I mean.
In your brains? That's different.
Yeah, well, being out in the desert can do that to you.
Alright, survival. I get a nat 20. Yeah, Varin just kind of points as like that way.
That way?
Yeah, the trail leads...
What would I ever do without you?
Not know where to go, I would assume. Alright, so from our position, Varin is able to point out the trail that the first group that we fought, it goes obviously that way. The second group goes from the temple to the... Oh, I guess I should actually move over here and do it where everyone can see. There we go. The first group traveled back that way, the way we just came. The second group has traveled that direction through the sand dunes. They are not currently in sight. And remember, we can only see about 2 miles. Until, of course, these sand dunes block line of sight. I just didn't want to actually put out the lines. Okay. Where is my notes? Adran, if you wanted, we can try and search for them. There are plenty of sand dunes to climb up, like we did before.
All right. Going up a sand dune with my telescope.
Excellent. That's going to take us... I assume you just mean like straight to the west? Like, give me a ping as to where you want to go.
Let me zoom out a little bit. I was zoomed out way too far in.
Sure thing.
That's
going to be a long ways away.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. Here?
If you want to go on top of the sand dune, it's any of these. So that place, 1, 2, 3, 4, is a mile away. It will take us 20 minutes at normal speed to get there. Is that where you want to go?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Move here. And there. Sorry, give me 1 second. There. Yeah, okay. So we are here, and you're using your spyglass, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Please to give me, sir, once I find it, there we go, a perception check.
Alright. I just need to get my screen back to working. I don't know why it did that. There we go, perception roll.
Nat 20! Yeah, that's a success. And you spot coming out from behind... I'm on the wrong layer. moving out across the sands. Another party. You see
Oh, I
through
got something.
your spyglass, you see that they are, like before, green-skinned, humanoid shapes. About 10 of them. With a nat 20, you see a familiar-looking red-skin type figure who looks sunburnt, overly muscular, and draped with chains.
Well, he looks pretty.
They are moving at a slow pace, clearly trying to be stealthy. Excuse me.
Not too stealthy, because I found them.
You also have a spyglass. Please give me a... as you're spying them, Varin is going to mutter, "I'm getting tired of chasing them." Please give me a nature check, sir.
Nature.
Not a terribly good roll, but enough to realize that if we were to try and follow their trail, at the moment they're currently moving in this direction. Okay? If we were to follow the...
Which direction are they?
do you see on the screen, sir? The arrow I'm drawing?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's the direction they're moving in. Clearly it would be kind of wasteful to follow their trail when we can see exactly where they are. And with Varin's ability to navigate this desert landscape, it's conceivable we could get ahead of them.
We could also find a way to intercept them.
That's kind of what I meant. Well, here's a question for you, sir. Did you want to intercept them, or did you want to try and get ahead of them?
Oh, try and get ahead of them, of course.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. All right. Give me one more nature check, sir.
All right. Let's see if my wrist is available and working.
There you go. There's a good roll. You chart a course to where we can intercept them, knowing the difference between their speeds and our speeds. Is that where you want Varin to go to?
Let's see. Do that again. My pages are working really, really slow.
Basically, you've spotted. So as you're studying their movements and such, you see that they are drawing to here, and that they're turning to go through this gap in the sand dunes over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with your nature check, you're able to spot a place where Varin, with his speed, can take the party to, in order to get ahead of them and set up an ambush. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to bother moving the tokens all about. I'll simply move us to the correct map. In 1 second. Shrink this. I get a muddy brown screen on my end. Nice.
Ooh.
Gotta figure out how to change that so it's not just mud brown. Ow. Okay. I forgot to set up the dynamic lighting again. I thought I turned that on. My apologies, everyone.
It's all good.
I might just have to edit that out or something later. All right, let's get you on the map, sir. And Del, Thea, and Varin. Okay. And all right, so where we are, and by the way, we are approaching this area out of the east. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, where I've placed this is not where we actually are. I assume you would want to get on a sand as we're coming to here. I assume you would rather be on a sand dune so you can look down into the valley.
Yes, and on my way out to that area, I've eaten 2 silvataffs.
Good to know.
Just letting you know.
Dell is going to remain down here. I'm not going to bother moving the cart and the mules unless you two think that we should. Do you two want the cart and mules?
Kind of want them out of sight, if possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically where Dell is?
Yeah.
Okay. As you look down into the valley, there are several sand dunes of varying heights and widths and shapes. There's a pile of flat sand here in about the middle, and over here are several boulders of varying heights, some 15, 20, 10, 20 feet. They look rather worn and smooth after lots of time being, ground down by sand. We are currently, thanks to your navigation, sir.
Yep.
We are currently 280 feet ahead of the enemy. It's going to take them 1 minute, 24 seconds to reach here. That gives us time for 14 movements and 14 actions before they arrive.
And you said they were going to be coming from where?
They're coming from the south.
Okay, from the south.
So, Adran, you can choose to give us directions as to where you want each of us, or you can just let us choose for ourselves. What would you prefer?
Well, I definitely want Thea to be in a place of sniper, or a place of sniping, but also too in a place where she could at least make a nice quick kill and then a nice getaway. Varin, you're kind of a tricky one on there because you've got so many other different feats. You could be far away and still be perfect, in helping us, fight the enemy. But I almost think I want you close by as well. What are these things over here? Are they like rocks or boulders?
Those are boulders, yes.
Okay. Let's see. If I could, because I assume that they're coming up from this. Gosh, show up over here. Yeah, I assume that they're coming up from this little area right in here.
Yes.
Okay, I almost want Thea to be somewhere around this area, if possible.
Thea, how does that look to you?
She'd probably suggest that she hides so that she could come up behind them if that's the case.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of nice.
Because I still have a concussion.
Okay.
Which is an important consideration. Do you want her on her own? All alone?
Actually, now that you say that. Thea, why don't you be near Dell? Just in case.
Well, I can still fight. I'm still in fighting shape. I just am not as good as I normally am.
Okay. Do you think you can handle yourself over in that area or no? Because one of the things that I was planning on doing is using a couple of minor illusions by just making it seem like I've already built traps over here. And yeah, they may be small, they may be illusions, but they don't know that.
Bear in mind you can only have one illusion at a time.
Ah, well. Thank you for that.
I figured that would be helpful.
They're coming from this direction, right?
The south.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, if you wanted me to, I could put a minor illusion over here of like a boulder or something for you to hide behind.
Or what I could do is if they're coming from directly the south, I could hide over here in the dunes.
What a great idea.
And just try to help flank them when they get in.
Yeah, if you want to do that, I'd say go for it.
Because I do my best damage when I'm attacking something that as I am currently, the best damage I do is when I'm in melee with something, and if I can find a way to overcome my current difficulties.
Okay.
Hopefully this helps. I've laid out a directional indicator.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want to stay over by the dunes, I see no problem with that. I'm actually going to be placed right here on the flat.
Okay. So, what I was thinking is I could just have Thea go over here to these dunes, hide, and then she can just can help flank them once they get to you.
Yeah.
Varin has been, just standing and listening to you two chat, and while you are coming to an agreement, Varin turns and points, and whispers in Elvish, "Grow." Oh darn it! I did it again. So I'm at the moment I'm just putting the token out and making it visible to everyone. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, so that's the basic radius of plant growth. Where would you want that placed? Because it's only going to affect plants, not the sand, not the rocks.
That's okay right there. I was actually planning on being right here in this flat area in the middle.
Yeah.
And if Thea doesn't want me to use an illusion to kind of hide her presence, I wouldn't mind doing that as well. Just having it right there in front of me.
It should
What if
be fine.
I placed it right about there?
Oh, okay.
How's that look?
That's still good. I mean,
well, you might want to put it just a little bit more north. That way, it's still just
like
so
there?
that
yeah, like right about there.
Yeah, that way they don't have it easy just because they get to a certain place.
Fair enough. So Varin casts plant growth. I can be pretty much anywhere as long as my sling can reach.
Yeah, and I think Thea's going to change her mind and hide behind this boulder here.
Okay.
Just because it's going to be really difficult to get through plant growth.
Yep.
Then Varin, you could be anywhere you feel comfortable.
Varin is going to take the next minute to start arranging some materials. While he's doing that, Thea, you can place yourself and take your hide action, I assume.
Okay. Alright, I'll do that.
And Adran, where were you going to place yourself?
If I am able to move my token character, which for some reason it's not allowing me to.
Do you have it?
I'm not able to move mine either.
Really?
I just wanted to be over here on the flat area.
Let me see what's going on here. Hang on 1 second. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not letting you do that. Oops, why did it go all the way up there? Try now. Wait, are you guys having trouble moving it past those lines? Is that what's going on?
No, I can't even select it.
Oh, really?
No, I can't even move it.
Alright, go ahead and pull out your character tokens for yourself. So see if that can work. Does that make sense? From the journal area?
Oh, wait. Come on. Drag.
Just drag and drop. Alright, there's Thea. And there's Adran. Did you have any instructions for Del?
I have something in my head, but it won't work for this scenario.
Okay. I assume then that you want him to remain where he is?
Yes.
Okay. Adran, as you step into this sand, it's difficult terrain, like all sand is. As you step onto this patch of sand, it shifts unnaturally beneath your feet and starts draining down towards the middle, pulling you along with it. In order to move through this area, please give me an athletics check, sir.
Oh no.
athletics.
That is a failure. Thea, please roll me 2d6.
Okay. And while she's on her way to the boulder, can she use the level 1 longstrider she has in her ring?
Yep, absolutely. You can even do that and hide on the same turn.
Okay, so you said 2d6?
Yes, please. Adran, you slip 3 feet towards the center of the... Lock the doors! I hope they don't have blasters.
Yes.
You slide...
That's what I wanted to tell Del, but...
Yeah. You slide 3 feet towards the center of the shifting pile of sand, sir. Wow, Thea, 32 stealth. Would you like to try and move again through the sand?
Me?
Yes, sir. You, sir.
I would very much like to get out of the sand.
Give me an athletics check, sir.
Oh boy, here we go. All in the wrist.
This sand is incredibly slippery. There's nothing to grab onto. Thea, please roll me another 2d6.
Help!
Alright, so that's a total of 10 feet that you've now slid towards the, there you go. You're now in the center, and as you look around, you're more or less in the center. And the center is about 10 feet lower from the edge of the ground where you started in the sand. You can give me another athletics check if you want. Varin is quickly unspooling his rope.
Oh, why not? I wish I can do acrobat.
Nope.
Athletics, here we go.
This is all muscle. You slip and slide, but because Thea, go ahead and roll me another 2d6. Varin hasn't tossed the rope yet. You're now 6 feet deeper. You can give me another athletics check, and Varin's going to toss you the rope. So you can choose, Adran, athletics check to try and force your way through the sand, or you can give me an acrobatics check to try and grab the rope as you are slipping and sliding through rapidly descending, almost like a funnel of sand.
I'm gonna try to grab the rope.
All right, give me an acrobatics check, sir. What's almost in that one? Yes, you catch the rope. Are you going to try and keep pulling yourself up and out, or are you just going to hold on to the rope while Varin pulls you out?
I'm basically just going to tighten my body and then hope Varin pulls me out, because a limp body would actually be heavier.
Ah, okay. In that case, I'm just going to do this. There we go. Varin's going to use his action to pull you out of the sand, and as you are drawn from the sand and you look back, it's almost like the sand is refilling in on itself until it seems flat and stable once more.
Yeah.
Did you? And then Varin just kind of glares at you and starts remixing his materials as he just walks away. He's like, yeah, stand in the sand. Great idea.
Well, I did want to meet them head on, but I didn't want to meet them with just a head above the sand.
Varin's going to go here and take hide, but with...
Thank you, Varin.
Varin's going to stealth and use hide in plain sight. So the enemy's about, I would say, like... only a short distance away. Adran, are you going to try and be on alert, watching for them, or just standing there out in the open?
Well, let's see.
Like a 34 stealth. That's kind of awesome.
Minor illusion. How far? Has to be within range of 30 feet. Okay, well.
So quick question for you, Adran. Are you going to be searching and on alert, or just standing there in the open while you conjure a minor illusion? Because that time in the sand trap just really ate up several actions.
Yeah, it really did eat up several actions, but let me check something. Huh. Okay. All right. So
to put this in perspective for you, sir, you have 3 actions left before arrival, so to speak. So so what would you want to do with those 3 actions?
Well, I still want to cast Minor Illusion about here, which is about 20 feet away.
Okay. What are you making?
I am going to be making an image of Dell sitting in, crossing his legs and having his hands out and trying to make it seem like he's conjuring up a spell of some kind. And if people think, oh, there's a guy sitting over here and he's conjuring or he's doing some type of action, we need to think and make him think that he's the one that's in charge of plant growth.
I love the idea. There's one problem. Minor Illusion makes an object or a sound, not a creature.
Oh.
I know, I'm sorry.
It couldn't be like a dummy or something of him, which is an object.
You could make an image of a corpse. That is an object.
Okay. We'll make an image of a corpse.
What in the hey is that? Sorry, give me a second. There we go. So let's put out hang on. So you
dead no.
There you go. All right, so that was 1 action. You have 2 left, sir.
I'm going to take my next action, burn a spell slot, and ignite my sword.
That's a bonus action.
Well, yeah, and bonus action to use it. But...
Did you burn a spell slot?
Yes, I did.
And what damage type do you want, sir?
That's a really good question. What do I have on it right now?
The last thing you were using was fire.
Let's do...
Sorry?
I was going to say, let's do acid this time.
Okay. I will point out, you did see a chain-bedecked, red-skinned, like sunburnt skin creature walking with the green-skinned people.
Right.
Which you may recall from an incident we had in the canyon a few days ago.
Yeah, he didn't do too well against fire, though, wasn't it?
I don't remember what you were using at the time. And at the time, I remember Varin was facing against one of them with his dagger only. It's up to you. What damage type would you like? Acid?
Actually, I'm going to change my mind and do force.
Force it is. Okay, so that was your bonus action. You still have 2 actions, sir. Well, bear in mind that you're not hiding behind anything. You've just created an illusion of a dead Dell. And now you're standing out in the open right there and behind him.
Well, let's see. What else do I have?
Decisions.
Of course. And this is also too what, like during the day?
Yes, it is like 2 in the afternoon. You get 2 or something in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, and I have 0 number 2 spell slots, so you know what? I'm actually gonna go under my stash and eat another Silvataf, so then I have at least 4 spells.
Okay.
So that's 3 left in my stash, and then 1 more is added back to my spells.
And you still have 1 action left, sir.
Upon the people's arrival, I want to use message and make it seem like I'm speaking directly to all of them with some sort of a spell, even though it's just me using message.
Out of curiosity, minor illusion's not concentration, right? No, it's not.
No, I don't believe so.
It is not. What is going on here? Okay. And I'm just checking something real quick.
Okay.
I'm trying to. Where would it be? Maybe down here. Okay, it's not there. Alright, I apologize. I have to look something up real quick. So you're readying an action, is that correct, sir? To cast a message?
Yes.
And what is the message that you're wanting to whisper, or you say? One of those words.
I want the message to be, please come and lend me your spirits so that I may consume with nature or something like that. Or commune with nature, or I don't know. I basically wanted them to like kind of be afraid, but then also say, oh, he's just one man. Let's go and meet him in battle or something.
All right. So in that case, Adran, what is your passive perception?
Passive perception, I believe, is a 14. Yes.
Good news. You're still within range of Thea's weapon of warning, so you will not be caught by surprise because they are trying to be stealthy.
Cool.
And you do not take the search action. So because you're standing out in the open and within range of Thea's weapon of warning, good job, Thea, you hear about 70 feet away the quiet crunch of feet on sand. The enemy is approaching. Okay, let me see. Okay. So, around the side of the corner to the south, working their way slowly through the thick vegetation, apparently grumbling in annoyance, come the 10 green-skinned creatures, very similar in appearance to what we've already encountered. The incredible thinness, and yet wearing plate armor and carrying great swords. Each one of them is carrying a great sword. The one in the middle is wearing full plate armor of a strange metal that does not look like anything like steel. All the ones around him, including this one here, are wearing something more along the lines of half plate. And this one here, while wearing half plate, is walking and carrying a staff. Behind that one comes the red-skinned chain, wielding creature. And as they come around the corner and out into the open, and they see the dead body on the sand, you can use your reaction, sir, to use your prepared action.
All right. And I use my reaction to create message. And when I say to them, it's please come forward.
Choose
one of
the creatures. Which one are you targeting? Because you can't target all of them.
Oh no, I figured their leader. Which one is their leader? The
You're not
guys in front, or the one with the staff?
Give me a straight intelligence check, sir.
Straight intelligence.
The guy in plate armor right here is the most protected and is wearing the heaviest, the biggest, and most complete suit of armor, and is walking with his sword sheathed. The others have their swords out. Well, and this one has a staff in hand.
Well, then I talk to their leader.
Okay.
With message and say, if you think you can handle a lonely warrior here in the desert, by all means, continue approaching.
Give me a deception check with advantage. So that'd be a 15. The heavily armored fellow sneers, even as he's like, kind of like, what was that? He recognizes magic, however, and points towards you with a hostile, commanding gesture. Roll for initiative. Thea, your weapon of warning gives you advantage on your initiative roll, and you still roll a nat 1?
It happens.
It does, but I don't remember last time I saw that happen for you. Alright, let's get the tracker up and get this party started.
Am I still rolling for Dell, or?
I already rolled for him, sir.
Oh, you already
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Now the thing is, Thea, what was your stealth check in again? Like 32, and mine was 34?
Yeah, mine's 32.
Yeah. So, in spite of their confidence, they are all caught by surprise. So we're going to skip their turns. And move to Adran as the first to act. Sir, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't have any any ranged weapon on me
anymore. You do have a sling.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to put my sword down to use it.
Oh no, because you can use a bonus action to summon it back to your hand.
True.
So you can drop it, interaction pull out your sling, action shoot, drop your sling, bonus action, summon your sword.
Okay. Now, do I get 3 extra attacks, or?
The problem with that is, did you have your shield on your arm?
Yes, I do.
Then you'll only be able to get 1 shot off because you need a free hand to load your weapon.
I think I'm just going to use my firebolt.
Okay.
And hit this guy right here on the right.
All right.
In front.
Give me the attack.
Right.
Pardon me.
Take my sword, swing it in the air, and then point directly towards him, but with a firebolt.
With your invisibly shimmering blade. A 16. He sees the fire coming dancing across the desert, slips to the side, but you still clip him in the shoulder for half damage. So, wow, that would have been 23 fire. That's going to reduce down to 11. Nice shot, sir.
Not too bad.
And you can also move.
Let's see. I think I'll just stay right here because I kind of want them to rush right straight in and then fall prey to the sand.
You want them to rush. If you have some spell slots remaining, you could use your bonus action to cast Expeditious Retreat because you are standing in plant growth. It's going to take you some effort to move through that.
I could if I wanted to, but I think I'm good right where I'm at.
As you wish. Thea, you are hidden from view and very well hidden from detection. You can attack with advantage, negating your disadvantage. However, that will mean no sneak attack.
Okay, well, you know, gotta do what you gotta do.
And you have 120-foot range with your sling. Or, of course, you could pull out your longbow.
I'll go with a sling for right now.
Very well.
I'll go ahead and attack that one. That way, if I do hit, there's a couple of targets for Varin to have.
Thank you. You
Oh my
crit
god.
right at the gate for 11 damage. The stone, he sees the stone, he doesn't see the stone coming because he's so focused on Adran. Next thing he knows, a stone just cracks against the side of his, the left side of his head, nearly in the eye. For what was it, 11? Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent shot, Thea. Did you want to move in bonus action?
Yeah, and I'm not going to be moving far, so I'll do the use my class feature to get
Advantage.
Advantage on stealth.
Okay. Nice. Not that it would have made much difference. You still would have ended up with 23, but good roll anyways.
Yeah, well, 29's better than 23.
That is true. And where are you moving to?
So, just move over here.
Excellent. All right. And now it's Varin's turn. Because I'm hidden, my first attack is going to be with advantage. But there are so many of them. Let's see. If I were to use this, could I hit?
I mean, you could just volley attack or something.
Yeah, just something. Alright. Grab it there. Let's see if I can get it something like that. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe a little too far over to the left. Let's go to... Let's put it right about here. Not quite. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I make that 8 targets. What do you guys think?
I think that works.
I'm going to.
Yeah, that works for me.
I'm going to use my advantage on my first target, which is the one you wounded, Adran.
Mm-hmm.
So, sling away. One sling stone gone. That's a 29 to hit, and Colossus Slayer. Okay, for a second there, I was like, it did roll, right?
It did.
Alright.
Oh!
Oh, 16 damage. Watch that health bar. Because this is gonna... Oh, come on. 16. Boom! Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots at normal. Once I get up there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So that first target, 14 to hit. That's going to be a miss. 13. Miss. Let's see. 21, 21, 24. Let's see. Yeah, the 21's going to hit for 6. The next 21 for 9 is going to hit that fellow, but I believe that fellow in chains, but I believe, yep, he's got resistance, so he's going to take 4 damage instead of 9. 24, 29, both are going to hit. 24 for 7. 29 for 8. I only just now thought to actually check the range, which I probably should have done before. So all the shots would, or most of the shots would be at disadvantage if I fire from where I am. So I'm just going to say I move to here before I shoot. Alright, so that was 8 shots. 1, 2, 3 misses. And I moved 10 feet out of 35, so I can move another 25. So I'm going to move to here, the rest of my movement. And for my bonus action, I'm going to target that. No, that wounded guy's already almost dead. Next wounded guy, I'm going to target him with Hunter's Mark. So I go to cast Hunter's Mark. Spell slot spent. I should have cast it before. Whoops. But live and learn. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my last 2nd level spell slot. And Varin stares in confusion as the spell does not take hold of that creature. Something's wrong with my magic, I think. Surprised. Dell's gonna stay where he is. All of them are surprised. Alright, top of the round. First up, one of the green-skinned warriors. One of the unwounded ones. I guess I could also put this token out of the way. There we go. He's going, realizing that they're in an area of difficult terrain. He's going to use his action and double check this. Scroll. He's going to leap suddenly 20 feet forward towards Varin. Next up, the one with the staff. Let's see. The one with the staff pulls out a scroll, reads it. The scroll disintegrates in his hand. I probably should check the range. That probably would have been helpful to know the range. Give me 1 second while I check the range on this. Sorry, everyone. So he's going to move as far as he can go, which isn't very far. Oops. So he moves that far. So what is he going to use? And then he suddenly vanishes. Not using the spell scroll for that, he just vanishes. So he is not there, or not seen there. There we go. Alright, the next one up is going to go leaping towards you, sir.
Too bad, because I really wanted to go for the guy with the staff.
Alright, Adran, it is your turn, sir.
Let's see. You, or you. Too many to choose from here. I really want to go for this guy that I wounded first. Oh, come on. I'm on the wrong tool.
Of course you are. You could still go for him, you're just going to have to move over to one side in order to get a clean line of fire.
Well, let me take a look at something real quick. I haven't really looked at the rules on this one in a while. Do I have to see direct line of sight?
For what?
For magic missile.
You have to see the creature. You don't need a perfect line of sight.
Okay. So I just have to see him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's move over here just a little bit.
Okay. That's how far?
That was...
You can only move...
Oh, once. That's right.
You can only move one square, and that's going to use up all of your current available movement, sir.
Oh, that's
You're in
right.
plant
That's
growth,
right.
not difficult terrain.
Growth.
I did suggest
that
casting Expeditious Retreat.
I did. I remember, but I think I can see him.
I'll allow that, yeah.
And I wanted to use my first level spell slot of Magic Missile on him since I already hit him once with my Firebolt. Unless it is one of those, the particular feat that I have. Do I have to actually physically melee hit him with with like a weapon?
You have to hit him with. You have to
like
hit
a cantrip?
You have to hit a creature. Wait, what are you asking about?
Here, let me go back to Eldritch Strike. Make your weapon strike undercut a creature's resistance to your spell. No, not that one. Then it would be Warcaster, I believe.
Or War Magic. You use your action to cast a cantrip. You can make one weapon attack as a bonus action.
No, not that one. The whole, I want to attack someone and then before the end of my second turn or my next turn, I can cast a spell on him and then he would have disadvantages on saving throws.
That's Eldritch Strike, and that would require you to hit the targets with a weapon attack, not a cantrip.
So not a cantrip. Okay, nope, that's what I was wondering. So never mind. But you know what? I think I'm just going to find a target and hit him with a Firebolt.
All right, who are you going to shoot?
I am going to take care of this guy. That's
the one closest
right
to you?
In front of him. Yeah, the one closest.
All right, give me the attack.
All right. Here we go. Make sure I'm on normal. Yes, I am. And Firebolt.
A 25 will certainly hit, sir, for a solid 21 fire damage. That one closest to you, yeah?
Yep.
Nice shot. Ooh, that hurt. You actually see him like, and almost like fall forward. But he maintains his stance. Did you want to move anywhere, sir? Or cast bonus Expeditious Retreat?
Well, technically I can't, unless I do cast Expeditious Retreat, but
True. I'm
okay where I'm at.
Alright, in that case, Thea, you are hidden behind the boulder, very successfully I might add. What would you like to do?
Let's attack this guy right here.
Okay, you're gonna have to move to where you can see him.
I'll just climb to the top of the thing.
Okay, please give me an athletics check.
Even with second story work?
Yeah, the second story work will enable you to climb as though you had a climbing speed.
Okay, gotcha.
The stone itself is very smooth, worn down by sand and wind and time.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And this is true for all the stones, by the way. That is enough. You're able to find enough tiny little nooks and crannies that you scramble 15 feet.
And
sorry, what?
And by the way, that is the lowest I can roll for athletics.
Are you proficient in athletics too?
Yeah, acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, perception, sleight of hand, stealth, and survival.
All right.
And thieves' tools.
So that's nice. All right. Yeah, that does not require your action. Just FYI.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I'll go ahead and attack.
Okay, you're on top of the boulders. I'm 15 feet up. 25 to hit. That's the guy on the far left, yes? To the west?
Yeah.
25 is an excellent hit. The stone whistles down out of the air and cracks into his temple for 9 damage. Nice.
And then I will move back down, hide, and then move again.
Excellent.
So,
And you're gonna have to.
normal, okay.
Ooh, nice stealth check.
Ooh,
Do
wow.
please give me another athletics check as you try to
Sure.
clamber down the. That is sufficient. Yeah, that's definitely enough. It's a good thing you're a
And
very
I'll move.
physical, focused character.
And I'll move here.
Okay. I will allow you to.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go. You're still hidden. All right, Varin's turn. These guys can move a lot quicker towards me than I expected they could with that whole jumping thing. But I've still got plenty of ammunition and plenty of movement. True. What if I right here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets? Oh, right. Except for the whole range thing. Oh. Disadvantage, 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 disadvantages. So I'd only get 1 shot at normal against that guy that I tried to cast that I tried to cast Hunter's Mark on. So I am still concentrating on the spell. I'm gonna bonus action mark the chain guy down there in the south. Seeing as how he's gonna be one of my targets here in a second. Alright, first shot at normal, and then the rest will be at disadvantage. Because I'm kind of leery of drawing close to these guys. Stone gone. He's 17. It's almost going to be a miss, and then he turns the wrong way at the last possible second and takes 9 bludgeoning damage to his left temple. Alright, the rest are going to be all at disadvantage. 5 shots, disadvantage.
Ooh.
Wow, I only get 1 nat 1 and all that. I got a 30 with a disadvantage? That's gonna hit the, let's see. That chain guy in the south there, that 30. So 4 and a Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark. 4 and 6, that gives him 10 damage. Okay. And then 20 for 8 against this guy. The nat 1 is going to miss the staff. Wait, hold on. Where am I looking? And that one's going to miss that guy. There we go. The 15 is going to miss him. And 22 hits the guy down there near the chain guy for 6 damage. And then Varin's just going to rush along. To here. Alright. Snarling and already quite damaged from all this. That button. There you go. He's going to use his action and then leap forward 20 feet. And because he's going right between 2 of his allies, I'm going to have him give me a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. Oh yeah, he makes that. Alright, this guy, the very wounded and burnt guy, he's going to use his action and then jump to there. Oh, I missed one. No, I didn't. Okay. I got there. Yay! Use his action. Actually, he's going to use his bonus action. And vanishes and reappears here. And then he's going to move up. That's as far as he can actually move. Adran, please give me a strength wait, no, he can't do that. Derp. He's gonna move there. He's gonna use his action to dash. The fellow in heavy plate armor moves up to there. Alright, where's this guy? So many bad guys. Action and jump. Action and jump. Dell's just like, I'm being very, very quiet.
There's something very, very strange about all these green creature like that just jump. I don't know what it is.
It's bounding forward.
It kind of reminds me of something that I've seen before in like the forests or the swamps or something like that.
Well, we haven't been to any swamps, so. Adran.
You don't remember the two large toads?
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
Swallowed henna?
Adran, as you're looking out towards all these, advancing warriors, and such, you see behind them the ground has kind of like a ripple motion, like almost like something moving through water. And right behind the one down there to the southwest, in the very back of the group, the ground suddenly erupts, and out comes scrabbling. Come on. An insectoid-like creature. It surges forward up out of the earth, mandibles clacking and multi-jointed legs waving, and attacks at that green-skinned warrior. Getting an 8, scrabbling and scraping against the armor. Alright, so that was that turn.
I thought I felt a tremor.
Alright, this guy. He's going to use his action to dash to there. The suddenly attacked warrior spins around and with kind of like what the expression movements, and is going to bring its, let's see, all things considered, no, he's not going to do that. He's going to, vanish in a cloud of mist and reappear 30 feet up here. Turn and dash.
Good for you. Good for you.
And Adran, you happen to notice that there's another one of those funnels of earth ripping up through the soil.
Always two there are. No more, no less.
Let's see.
Well, Varin, things just got a little more interesting.
Oh, wrong thing. It opens its maw and a line of acidic drool bursts out in a 30-foot long, 5-foot wide line, causing these two green-skinned warriors, there you go, to have to make dexterity saving throws.
And it also looks like that one over there has got an upset stomach.
One gets a 21, which is a success, and the other gets a nat 1. Who would like to roll me 3d6 acid?
Here we go.
Excellent. the one in the back is going to be the one that failed. And it's going to take 15 acid damage right in the back, while the other guy is going to take 7. The one that you shot at last, Thía, is going to vanish in a cloud of mist, reappearing here, and then dash forward. Like, nope! Alright, top of the round. It seems we have multiple issues going on here. This guy's going to vanish, reappear here, and then jump forward another 20 feet. Or 15 feet, rather.
Varin, look out!
Ooh! And take a swing at Varin with its great sword. Getting a 16, and Varin twists and ducks, cloak flapping and snapping in the guy's face, and dodging to one side. All right.
That was too close.
Right? Oh, come on. There we go. All right. Where is that guy? He's going to bonus action. Oops. Come on. He's going to bonus action teleport, landing on top of the dead Dell, feet sinking through the illusory image onto the sand. And the sand starts to give way, but he's going to jump. Wrong tree, I think. Hang on. There we go. Leaping 20 feet forward, right next to you, Adran. Bringing its great sword around and a sweep at your side. Getting an 18. You swing to the left and block with your shield.
Ching.
And Adran,
Ooh.
it is your turn, sir.
Apparently you didn't heed my warning at first. So I swing at him with my sword.
Excellent. Stab, sir. Stab. Excuse me. And since that is now revealed to be the illusion it is, what's going on here? Sorry. A 24 against the guy who just landed next to you, yes?
Yep.
Alright, that is going to hit for 12 damage. Watch that health bar. Oof.
Ooh.
He did not expect that vicious of a stab, sir. And next?
Next, he's going to take another one.
Crit.
Oh my gosh, what?
How do you kill
No.
him? There's no way he's surviving that.
I hit him so hard that I ended up slicing his torso completely wide open and guts flying everywhere.
21 damage against a guy who only had like 5 hit points. Thud.
Meaning, oh, maybe I put too much force on it.
And considering you have force on your blade, yes, you may have an inspiration point, sir.
Oh, I thank you.
Alright. Anything else for your last extra attack, sir?
What do I do it on? What do I use?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think you have anything available. No. You could drop your sword and use your interaction and bonus action to hurl a dagger at this guy with it at normal.
I could actually. So I choose to drop my sword, use my interaction to pull out a dagger, and I throw it at that guy, at Varin.
All right. Throw the dagger, sir.
All right, where's my
you're throwing it at
dagger? No. The guy who's near Varin.
Gotcha.
Here's the dagger for my third attack.
Okay, I will accept that 23 for 6 damage. Yeah, it digs in pretty deep. Did you want to move anywhere?
Well, first I'm going to bonus action summon my Sanguine back to my hand.
Excellent.
And then I'm just going to move directly up.
Okay, and that's
that's all I can.
That's as far as you can get.
That is as far as I can get with all that movement.
Yep. All right, Thea. Now, help me understand, Thea. Are you like just below the edge of the top of the boulder, hanging on with one hand, kind of a thing?
No, she let herself go back down then moved a bit.
Excellent. Okay. It is your turn. You have 120-foot range. And you are hidden, so you're going to attack at normal.
There's a guy next to Varin.
There is. You would get sneak attack against him.
So let's go ahead and attack.
That sounds like a wonderful plan.
Does that hit?
A 27. Excuse me. That is certainly a hit. Give me sneak attack. 28 damage. Watch that health bar. You know, I totally forgot to roll my Colossus Slayer last turn. I apologize for that. Thea, what would you like to do? Or would you like to move and I assume stealth?
Yep, that's what she's gonna do. So there's her stealth.
That is the minimum you could have rolled.
And she'll move over here.
You could have rolled that with advantage.
Okay, I'll give it another roll to see if that's
perfect. There you go. 29. You feel
that's better.
You feel fairly well hidden in the crook of this stone.
Yeah.
For himself, excellent turn, Thea. Varin is going to remember that he can hurt wounded targets easily. Slide out his short sword, not the silvered, and attack twice. This time, remember Colossus Slayer. The 7 is gonna, the 20 is gonna hit. The 15 is going to miss, so dealing a total of 10 damage. And then Varin's going to stay where he is for the time being. All right. Next up, one of those guys in the south is going to bonus action vanish, reappearing 30 feet to here, and then jump 20. And what else does he have? Let me check. Anything fun? Drat, nothing useful in that regard. So he's just going to use his action to dash. So he has, okay. Brain is working. He's going to jump another 20 feet. But that was using his action.
Hello.
This guy bonus action teleports 30 feet. And jumps 15. And he's going to use his action to attack Varin. Varin just kind of growls, maybe I should have moved. As he ducks and just kind of like gently weaves to one side away from the slashing greatsword. Adran, this guy down here points at you, and please give me, let me check. Give me a strength check, sir.
Okay. Strength. Come on. Is it a... It's not a saving throw,
Nope,
is it?
Just a check.
Just a check. Alright, then strength check.
You feel something tug at Sanguine nonetheless. And you feel certain that if you had been relying on your grip alone, it would have been yanked from your hand. But it is not, because it is your bonded weapon.
Ooh. Did somebody try to take this away from me?
And the fellow down here kind of looks confused, like, what? That was it for his turn, and go. Bonus action teleport, 30 feet. Jump for 20. Action dash, jump for to here. Boom, boom. This guy is going to divert.
Oh, really?
Sorry?
I said, oh, really?
And then dash. 20 and 20. Has 20 feet remaining. Thea, bear in mind that you have made several shots from the general direction of this stone. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to say that at the moment he's not looking at you. He doesn't know where exactly you went. But you do see one of these, half-plate wearing, green-skinned warriors come around the corner of the stone like, where is that one? Where is she? Just looking and looking and looking. And right about this point, we hear a hideous-sounding, warbling, shrieking cry from the west. It sounds vaguely feminine. But we don't see what it is. Alright, Dell is kind of getting a little nervous, but he's going to wisely remain where he is, since that's what you told him to do, right, Varin? Or Varin, Adran? Sorry.
Yes.
Alright, this creature is going to move forward and get to there. And this guy, let's see, hang on. Nope, out of range. Alright. So that guy's gonna have to make me a saving throw. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a success. Who would like to roll me 3d6 acid? Okay, so it's going to take 4 damage instead of 8. And that person is now going to turn and look at the insectoid, realizing that he can't get very far anywhere close to what's going on. It's going to move close. That takes all of his current available movement. And he's going to lash out with his chains at this insectoid creature. Getting a 19 and a 12. Hang on. There we go. 19 hits for 9 slashing, and that insectoid is currently restrained. Excuse me. Or grappled, excuse me. And grappled and restrained. Right. So let's do that. Alright. Next warrior. Bonus action, vanish. And leap 20 feet. And this one's going to get to make an attack against you, Adran. Getting a 17 to hit and banging against your magic shield to no avail. Please roll me d6, one of you.
Alright. Just a single d6?
Yes, please. Okay. Going to use its action to dash. finally, the last warrior in the round. Bonus action teleport. And then leap. To here. And making another slice at you, sir. There is a buzzing hum about the strange metal of this blade as it comes close to cleaving into your calf, but you twist your leg up and out of the way just in the nick of time.
Now we have a party.
Alright, the one next to me in the south is going to take a swing at me. Getting a nat 1. And missing utterly. There we go. Alright, Adran, it is your turn, sir.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna take care of this guy.
Okay. You need stab attack, sir.
Stab attack with sanguine nonetheless.
A 20 will certainly hit for 11 damage. Nice. Digging the point of your blade in. Oops, sorry. 1. It's 10. Yep. Alright, that was attack 1.
Next shot will be this guy on the left.
Go for it. Yeah, I'll accept the 27. You dig into his left pectoral. Assuming that on these strange creatures, that is the pectoral. Your next attack, sir.
Okay. Just like clockwork, I'm gonna go to the next guy, right next to him.
Okay. Top left.
Top left. Yes.
That is also going to hit. Nice. For 6 force damage.
Next up, I will use my action surge.
Very well.
And like clockwork, going to hit the other guy who hasn't been hit yet.
At all. Ow.
And I will attack him twice.
Go for it. Wait. Is the 22 and 15?
Is a glancing blow.
Hold on. Is the 22 attacking the same creature?
Wait, what now?
So you have, hold on. 20, 27, 22, 15. Okay, so 15 is the first of your action surge. 15 is a miss. He sees the stab coming, not from the blade, but from your arm, and twists so that the force blade slaps against his plate armor.
Oh, how dare you move away from me as I'm poking you!
To express your outrage, you stab him successfully in the side for 7 damage.
And then the first guy that I attacked in this round is going to take the last one.
Go for it. He sees it coming and leaps completely over your blade.
Oh, you guys. We're having some fun now, aren't we?
Anything else for you, sir?
Well, I would actually like to use my bonus action. I do have a bonus action left, right?
You do.
And use Expeditious Retreat.
Excellent. Burn a spell slot, and I'll put the concentration token on you.
All right. And now I can move, what, 40 feet, right?
You can move 30 and then dash for another 30.
Okay. Then I will do just that. And probably going to be, what?
Are you moving out into the normal terrain, sir? To the north?
Yeah.
Then you're basically stepping from the plant growth area straight onto normal terrain. So you have 30 and then 30, so 60 feet total.
So... Whoops. No, come on. Don't do that. There we go. Scroll out. So that was what, about 20 feet, right?
Let me check. That was 30 feet right there.
Okay, so that was 30 feet, and then I'm
another 30.
Moving another 30.
Yes. They are all going to get attacks of opportunity against you, so 4 attacks.
All right.
The only one that gets anywhere close is a 23, which misses anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Thía, what would you like to do? Where you are, you've heard something heavy and large whispering, slipping, and sliding across sand and dirt and plants, somewhere to your west.
Well, she's going to go ahead and use her charm of hiding.
Okay.
It lasts for a minute. Greater invisibility is what it does.
Indeed. That is an action.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to use for your bonus action, if anything?
What I think we'll do is I'm just gonna climb over the boulder to get to here.
You're climbing over the boulder or just moving around?
I'm climbing over the boulder because I don't want to get into the difficult terrain. And I don't want to pass by him.
Well, he can't see you.
Right.
Okay. Now, I will point out, you could, for example, interaction, draw your short sword, bonus action, apply poison.
Oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I'll just wrap my sling around my wrist and do that. Let's see. Where's the...
Now the only thing is that while you're invisible, you're attacking with advantage, but because of your concussion, you also have disadvantage. So all of your attacks are going to be at normal, as long as you maintain concentration on invisibility. I'm adding a ninja mask to you to indicate that you're invisible.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Okay. So,
and you're climbing up and over the boulder. Please give me 2 athletics checks to make sure you can actually do that.
Okay. My minimum's 19.
Yeah, in that case, you don't need to bother rolling. You succeed both times. Thank you for helping to remind me.
Yeah, I think she's going to expect this dude right here to go around where she was over here. And she doesn't want to get in the way of this pack over here because they're probably going to chase Adran.
Probably. Alright, and then that's it for you then, Thía?
Yes.
Alright. Varin is over here. You see him also spinning his wrist so that his sling wraps around his arm. And he uses his interaction to pull out his dagger. Since his other sword is rather badly damaged. So stab at the guy to the south. Why am I doing that at disadvantage? I'm going to go with the 27 since that's the first number. Since I shouldn't be attacking at disadvantage. Varin pulls out his dagger, and then as he does so, spins unexpectedly, stabbing his short sword through the creature's armor into its chest and heart. And as it drops to the ground, he spins back around and takes a stab at the guy to the west of himself. With his short sword when I get there. And that's going to take Colossus Slayer. Oh, if it hits, which it doesn't with 14. So, stab with the dagger. 26 will hit, and that'll become 8 damage. Thanks to the Colossus Slayer. Eventually I will select it. There we go, 8 damage. And then, snarling with annoyance, Varin's going to rush back down to the south, triggering one attack of opportunity. Getting missed. Woohoo! Varin's just too quick for him. Alright. This guy's going to leap forward 10 feet and then run 20 feet. Action dash. So there you go, sir. One of your dance companions has suddenly reappeared. And you're muted, I see that. Hello there, says Adran rather jovially. The green-skinned warrior Varin was just fighting turns and leaps twice towards Varin, using his action to dash. Since Adran is, well, hold on. He's only used his, okay. He's going to teleport. And then jump. 20. And then dash. Or sorry, not dash, move 10. And 20. There we go. Does he have line of sight on you, Adran? He does. Adran, please give me another strength check. I get a 19 versus your 12. And your shield is suddenly ripped out of your hand and moved 30 feet to the south by an unseen force. No! Please mark that the shield is off of your armor class, sir.
How dare you!
Okay. Gotta give myself a little marker here. It is now at the feet of the heavily armored foe. And please remember to mark that off of your character sheet. So that was his movement and his turn. He babbles something in an unknown language. Thank you, sir. This creature is going to move and then dash. Thía, true to your guess, that fellow that just came around searching for you moves to there and he's going to search for you. What was your stealth check, please?
29.
Yeah, that's not going to do him any good. He gets a 12 versus a 29. He has no idea where you are. And then, so you can slightly see this around the corner of the rock there, Thía. 10, 20, 30. Something comes wriggling through between the dunes. It has the body of a snake, or the tail and length of a large snake, but then the waist and upper body of a woman in rather scanty armor, long, tumbling, tangled up hair, and 6 arms, all waving long swords. Her eyes fall upon the first mortal being as she dashes with a hideous shrieking hiss straight towards them. And that is it for her turn. Dell is remaining out of sight. Adran, please roll me a d6. Okay, that's no good for him. The insectoid in the south that's currently restrained by chains is going to bite back at its captor. Getting a 15 to hit. Which is, I'm going to say not going to hit. The chain-adorned person is going to lash out at his own... oh, hold on. Actually, Thea, please roll me 2d6. As that restrained insect is going to take some damage from the chains grappling it. It takes 8 damage. Alright. He's going to lash out at the other insectoid. Getting a 23. And then lashing again at the first insectoid. Getting a 10, which misses. That other one is going to take 9 slashing damage and is now also restrained and grappled. Alright. Where's this warrior? Ah, one of the ones chasing you, Adran. He's going to dash. Not dash. He's going to leap forward 20 feet. And then he's going to dash to there. Thea, please roll me a d6, and then roll me 2d6 separately, please. Okay, that's not good for the creature. And then the 2d6. All right, so the second insectoid is going to take 5 damage from the chains and cannot move anywhere. It shrieks and babbles and as it takes the damage. The final warrior that's been chasing Adran is going to leap 20 feet forward. 10. Going to dash. And then leap. Let me check something. Leaps clear up to the top of that boulder above you, sir. Sliding. Oh. It's going to slide down. Basically, he's going to start climbing down, so he has to give me an athletics check. Yeah, he is about 5 feet away from you, sir. From the top of the stone. Alright, top of the round.
Realized that I was going to just start talking, but then all of a sudden I realized my mic was muted.
You are once more surrounded, Adran, and now without a shield.
I'm very, very upset by that. Slightly not thinking straight because, oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have a shield on me.
Now, I will point out, you can attack the creatures around you. You could also target some of them with a spell, and if that spell has a saving throw attached, they'll have disadvantage because you struck pretty much everyone who's currently around you.
That's right, I did. Does Magic Missile have anything like that?
It does not. Magic Missile is an automatic attack. Or automatic hit, excuse me.
It has to say in the spell that they have to make a save of some sort, and it's usually an ability save.
Precisely.
So let's see.
Fortunately, I think the only one you have
is Shatter.
Or Gust of Wind, but you don't have any second level spell slots left.
I don't. So I can't use any of those.
Yep, precisely. Apologies.
No, it is what it is.
It is what it is. What you gonna do, sir?
Well, I'm going to dig down deep into my soul, and I'm going to strike hard like the mighty elephant would.
Go for it.
The guy with the littlest and least amount of life left, I'm going to strike at him hard.
Alright, go for it. That's the one to the north of you.
Yep.
Okay, a 17 is exactly what you needed to hit. And rather interestingly, 10 is the exact number of hit points he had left. You stab him through the center of his throat.
Great.
Thud. He dies without a whisper of sound.
And what's really crazy is I do hear a little bit of like rocks kind of like, you know, falling off the big boulder. And I turn around and I just take a swipe, hoping that I make contact with something.
All right.
So,
are you looking where you're swiping, or are you just stabbing blind?
Yeah, I'm turning around and I'm looking.
Instinct stab.
Hoping that he's like close and in range that I actually make contact.
He's basically 5 feet of, like, his feet are just at the height of your head level. However, he sees the stab coming and twists his feet up and to the side. You gouge a 12-inch deep hole in the stone, about the width of a needle.
Well, at least I kind of freaked him out. The next shot I'm going to take is going to be the guy directly west of me.
Excellent, go for it. Yeah, it sees the stab coming and counters with the side of its greatsword.
Oh, man.
And, you could bonus action dash, if you want.
I do actually want a bonus action dash.
Okay. That's going to trigger 3 attacks of opportunity, so let's get those out of the way.
Well,
remember, you do not have your shield. So here...
I'm only moving... that.
All 3 still miss. And where to, sir?
That was 30 feet.
Yep.
And I could also use Expeditious Retreat.
Yep, that's your bonus action.
All right. I go all the way down here because I want my shield. I know I can't pick it up just yet, but
true.
I don't know what this guy is going to do anyway.
You could use your interaction to pick it up, but you won't be able to equip it until your next turn. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So, because I didn't use my interaction for anything else earlier, so I'll just do that.
Excellent. All right then. And as you come tearing around from between the 2 boulders, you glimpse this monstrous snake woman creature, and it's going to use its reaction as you end your turn to smash down at that warrior with its tail.
Ugh.
Getting a 20 to hit and crushing bones with a 23 damage.
Well.
And that creature is now grappled and restrained.
Remind me not to get on her bad side.
Thea, it is your turn.
Well, Adran's conveniently near somebody.
That is true. And you
I'll
can
go ahead and attack.
You can attack with at normal, and you get sneak attack if you hit. You're using your poison sword, yes?
Correct.
All right. What is the DC for the con save?
10.
Thank you. Go ahead and give me the attack roll.
All right.
Yes, that will hit. He gets a nat 20 on his Constitution saving throw. So
it's
he's
just
going
damage
to,
on the stack.
he's
so
going to ignore the poison. Rather completely. That is 32 points of damage. Nice hit, and he needs to give me a Constitution check to maintain concentration. Or no, sorry, wrong button. Go with the con save. So that's an 11. 32 divided by 2.
That's 16.
Double checking. You are correct. So the DC was 16. He fails his save and is no longer concentrating on his spell. Anything else for you, Thía? Your location is currently exposed, though you are invisible.
Yeah, I'll move.
Okay. Would you like to bonus action hide first?
Yeah,
so
I might as well.
So you can attempt to move stealthily?
Yeah, I will do that.
Excellent. Now does not matter because your move's 23. Okay, 24. Nice. Yes, you may move stealthily.
I'll move there.
Excellent. We move to the south to Varin, who's getting rather annoyed that this creature is still following him. So Varin's going to stab him. Uh, 26 will hit for a total of 15 damage. And the guy had 5. Wrong button. Get out of here! Don't bother me again. Then Varin's going to move 30 feet. Use his extra attack. But he's going to use it on his Darkling Dagger instead of using it as his offhand weapon. So this is going to be, come on, because I remember fighting these guys. Dexterity. And I'm going to use my interaction to sheath my short sword. .26 will hit. So Colossus, not Colossus, Hunter's Mark. So that becomes 10 damage total. Come on. As I'm now currently using my Darkening Dagger as my main weapon. Alright, the creature you just stabbed so painfully, Thía, howls and roars in pain. Oh, and one other thing. As my turn ends, that snake-bodied woman creature brings up its longsword, crashing down with advantage on the restrained creature in her snake form, or snake tail. Getting 22 to hit for 14 damage. Alright, now we move to the creature you just stabbed, Thía. He snarls out in pain. What's he gonna do? Yeah, he's going to attack you twice, Adran. You do not have your shield equipped. I get a 22 and a 16. Very well, you thrust out your hand carrying your unequipped shield, waving it through the air, and a sphere of force surrounds you, blocking 22, I assume. So go ahead and put that +5 on your armor class. Alright. And him ending his turn means that 6-armed creature is going to take another longsword attack. However, that one... Oh, wait. With advantage. My bad. Getting 20 to hit. And beheading the creature it held in its tail. One of the guys to the north just comes rushing back towards you, Adran, taking a swipe at you with his great sword. I get a 14. I'm gonna guess that misses. And that's going to trigger another reaction as he ends his turn. And this 6-armed creature rushes towards the 3 of you, howling and gibbering something in an unknown language. Mama! Cries Adran as this 6-armed creature comes bearing down on him. Oh, and look whose turn it is. She moves up. Let's see. First attack against the guy to your north, Adran. (19 to hit for 13 damage. Her longsword blade cleaves deep into his side. Second attack at you, Adran. I get a 25 to hit. Find my heavy blades! Find my heavy blades! As a longsword comes crashing against your shield, yet does not penetrate the barrier. Third attack against the creature to your southwest, Adran. Getting a 15, which misses. And then attacking that guy to your north again, sir. That misses. Attacking you again, sir. I get a 26 against your armor class. You take 16 slashing damage. And final, next attack against that guy to the southwest of you. Getting a 25. That'll hit. For 7. And all of a sudden its tail comes slipping and slithering around and reaches out at you, sir. I get another 26. You are smacked across the face, and in your confusion as you take another 15 bludgeoning damage, you find yourself gripped tightly in this creature's tail. You are grappled and restrained. Okay, well that was it for her turn. Del is going to stay where he... Oh wait, he shouldn't have advantage anymore. He used that, didn't he? Thea, did he use his inspiration last game?
I don't remember if he did. I don't think he did, because I think he rolled everything at normal.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Adran.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to move up onto the hill, where you can see everything that's going on. So he is nearby, but he has not revealed his presence to everyone yet, if that makes sense. Adran, please roll me d6. Okay, so this creature gets its acid spray back, and both the chain adorned creature and Varin have to make dexterity saving throws. Well, one's a fail and one's a success. Thea, please roll me 3d6 acid. Please. Alright, so the chain guy is going to take 13 acid. Ow. And Varin is going to take 6. Which all goes into my temporary hit points. Yay! Adran, please roll me 2d6. Alright, the insect is going to take an additional 6 points of damage from the chains grappling it. And look whose turn it is. The fellow wearing chains is going to attack Varin. Sorry, Adran. Attack Varin with one of his slings. Oh, and Varin has to make a con check. Let's see if Varin keeps Hunter's Mark. Varin loses Hunter's Mark prior to getting hit by the chains. So Varin is hit by the chains, he takes 11 damage and is restrained. Gulp. 11 damage from 4. 7. There we go. Ow! Varin roars. That was one attack, and then against the very wounded guy down to the southwest. That's 20 to hit. That hits for 10 slashing damage from the chains. Alright, where's this guy? Where's this guy? Oh, there he is. He's going to come down here and make an attack against you, Adran. Getting an 18, which does not hit you. Thía, please roll me a 6 and 2d6 separately, please. Thank you for notifying me of the miss, Adran. Alright, does not recover that. Go ahead and give me... Why is he concentrating? So he's going to take 4 more damage and cannot move anywhere because he's restrained. There we go. Where's this warrior? Nope. Oh, the one hanging onto the top of the stone. He's gonna have to give me an athletics check to try and climb back up. Yep, just enough. So 10, 15, 20. And then, oh, might help if I go back up to where you can see. He's going to leap. Alright, and dash to here. And keep forgetting to do this. All that means this creature gets another reaction. Adran, you are currently restrained. She swipes down at you with her long sword, getting a 22, which I believe misses. Yes. Your shield manages to block that one. You should have been rolling some constitution checks to keep your expeditious retreat, but that was a DM mistake. I forgot about it, so we're going to ignore it.
Okay, so I basically go back down to regular mode, no longer concentrating on that shield.
Correct. You are rather badly hurt and restrained.
Yes, I am. Well, let's see. I need what, like an acrobatics or an athletics check to
You get to make the choice. Acrobatics or athletics, your choice. But remember, it will take your action.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And you don't have your shield equipped yet.
No, I do not.
And as long as you're restrained...
I also can't do that while I'm restrained, so...
You can't do what?
I can't equip it while I'm
Yes, you can.
restrained.
Yes, you can.
You can?
Yeah. It just takes your action, not your movement.
Wait, I thought I have to make a... Oh, gosh. What is that other word? not an insertion.
Interaction?
Yeah, interaction. I thought I had to use an interaction to equip it.
Nope.
So I have to use an action to equip
Yes.
it. Oh, phooey.
You could action equip, bonus action second wind. Just a thought.
Thanks. I was actually thinking about just doing just that. So
Okay.
So I use my action to equip my shield, and then my bonus action for second wind.
Go for it. Roll it. And you can also yell out to Dell that you might need some help. You recover 19 hit points.
Nice.
Indeed.
Better than nothing. So that's.
So this fight went
There.
unexpectedly different.
Yeah, a little bit. And then my final action is turning my head in a certain direction, going, "Hey, Dell, need a little help over here."
And I believe that ends your turn, yes?
Yes.
Alright, reaction. The guy to the north of you takes 13 damage. There you go. As her longsword comes cleaving down from one of her arms. Thea, it is your turn. You're invisible, and Adran is looking a little beat up over there.
Well, let's see if we can maybe get one less person attacking him.
Sounds like
I'm
a
gonna
good
go here and attack that guy right there.
idea. Adran, shouldn't you be at 96 since Aid was cast on you for your maximum hit points?
Was it?
It should be at 96, because we haven't reached 5 o'clock yet.
Oh, my goodness.
Alright, so you're attacking that same guy, yes? Okay.
Yeah, and let's see.
Go for it. 27's gonna hit, so I need him to give a con save, yeah?
DC 10.
Thank you. He succeeds. Give me sneak attack. That, ooh, ay, ay, ay. That is 26 damage. Watch that health bar.
And then I'm just gonna go ahead and stealth and leave. Well,
He spins around.
that's about normal.
Yeah, right. He spins around looking around and he's just like, what the heck? He's just bleeding out through 2 separate gash wounds. Alright, so that's going to end. Fox?
From,
That's gonna miss. You figure that out, Adran. In the meantime, Varin is no longer considering a Hunter's Mark, and he's... Oh, I never played, so I don't know any of that reference. Varin is currently restrained, so that means... Alright, so that means disadvantage. Yes, Thea, please go ahead and roll me 2d6, if you would. Varin takes another 8 damage from the chains. Ow. Varin's going to bonus action activate Darkling Dagger. So he's now ensconced within its shrouding darkness. I'm certain I am. I never played any of the Nintendos.
oh man, those were probably some of the best things back in high school.
So that removes all the disadvantage. I don't have Hunter's Mark running anymore. And all things considered, I'm not gonna. However, the creature. Wait, hold on. I would have had to actually do something first. I apologize. It's gonna use its reaction to force me at the start of my turn. I have to succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be frightened, which means I have advantage because of my steel will, my unrelenting resolve. Holds me in good stead, and I am not reduced to fear. I activate the bonus action. I activate the darkness, and go to stab twice. Oh My goodness. That's 2 hits. And max on the Colossus Slayer for a total of 26 damage.
Just so you know, guys, I really don't like being manhandled by a 6-armed freak of nature.
Varin calls out from the south, "You're not manhandled, you're snake grabbed." And Varin's turn ends, which means Adran. A longsword's going down. I get a 19.
Oh, that came really close to my head.
You feel that in your armor.
Ooh.
Pretty badly hurt and can't reach his men. This guy right here. He's gonna disengage. And move to here. And that's it for his turn. That is going to, and now a reaction attack.
And that is a clear sign of a coward.
All of a sudden, the blade sweeps past your head, getting stuck between the guy to the blade of the guy to your north and your own helmet. This guy is going to disengage, and ending his turn. Triggers a reaction. Adran, another longsword coming at you.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
I get a 28 to hit.
Oh.
I don't think even shield can protect you right now, can it?
Well, actually, no. If I put on shield right now, it'll give me a 30.
Wait, oh yeah, you're right, because you activated your
I activated my shield.
You're right. Did you want to do that?
I'm doing a spell slot so that I can cast shield.
That longsword looked awfully
Damn,
sharp.
right there, so close and hitting me between the eyes.
That longsword looked awfully sharp heading that way. Question: Do you yell anything at Varin like, "Come get this thing"? That is it for its turn. Dell is going to look at you, sir. You're looking roughened, but overall okay. Let's see. Can he even help you?
Can I at least shout something at Varin?
Sure, you can shout something at Varin.
I had something and then I completely forgot.
Oh no! What did you have in mind?
Something along the lines of, "Hey Varin, finish up whatever you got and then come and help me out here!"
Because you don't want to give away the fact that Thía is somewhere nearby?
Yes, I want to keep her hidden.
Because, Adran, tiny dots of light appear. 2 of them. Right in front of the snake creature's eyes. And she's going to have to give me a con check. Constitution saving throw. Gets a 24. She is not blinded. And you just hear Dell call from the top of the hill. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So he's concentrating on dancing lights. That is the end of his turn. This creature is going to make a swipe at you, Adran.
Oh boy.
I get a 23. Alright. Adran.
I could just see the rippling effect of my shield being vibrated by that hit.
Right. Adran, please. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. Yes, go ahead. Please give me 2d6.
2d6.
Yes, sir.
Rolling.
4 damage to that insect. Thea, please give me a single d6. Okay, does not get its acid spray back, but this insect is going to bite at what it cannot see and what cannot see it, so attacking it normal. And getting a 9, which misses. Alright. This chain adorned fellow is going to make 3 attacks. No, not 3 attacks. It's going to attack, let's see, Varin, and then the nearly dead insect. Once I open the correct character sheet. First attack is a nat 1, missing Varin. The second attack is an 11, and there's a squishy, wet sound as chitin is ripped apart, and a large head goes flying.
Oof.
I don't know what that was, but it sounded kind of gross. Alright. Right next to you, sir, is a warrior who disengages and moves away. That's going to trigger
Coward.
Another reaction. And you're currently the only one in her grasp and reach. I get a 27 against your armor class, sir.
30.
Okay. Alright, Adran, please roll me 2d6.
Yeah. Boom.
Ouch. 9 damage as the chains dig into the flesh of that unfortunate creature who warbles and howls. And Thea, please roll me a d6. Single.
Now that's what I call a chain reaction.
It is restrained and unable to do anything. Chain reaction. Nice. Alright, where's this warrior? The one on the stone? No, he already left the stone. Where is he? Actually, that does trigger another reaction. Adran! Sword coming! $25, but you've got your shield up, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Seriously, if I upset you in any past life or something like that, I'm sorry!
A voice crawls into your head. Give me your soul, mortal!
Actually, I kind of like where my soul is at right now.
This guy right here, sir, is going to take the dodge action. Alright, top of the round. Where is it?
I gotta break free like the mighty elephant.
Alright, are you going to... Okay. Let me check. Nope. This one. You just barely managed to squeeze out before, well, it could have crushed your bones, basically.
Ugh. Ugh.
You are free, and that was your action. And I forgot to ask for your con save, but oh well. I'm going to go ahead and say that because I kept forgetting, I'm going to go ahead and say that at some point you failed, so you're no longer concentrating on expeditious retreat.
Well, I'm still gonna try to get out of the way.
Alright, so you're leaving that area?
Yes.
That will trigger an attack of opportunity.
I know.
Technically 2.
Only at the end of his turn. You get a 15, which misses. Wait, what do you mean 2?
There's a guy at the corner here from him.
True. That one was dodging, but can make an attack of opportunity. Thank you, Thea.
And
I'm sorry for rolling that with advantage, not that it mattered. I get a 23, sir?
I'm at a 25, so no, that does not
Excellent.
hit me.
Alright, and you can now move your token, sir.
Oh gosh, let's see. 20 puts me right here at the rock. This rock is 20 feet tall.
That also will give another attack of opportunity.
You're correct. Thank you. I was looking at something else.
Oh, what will?
Where you move.
Because you're passing by this guy right here.
Get a dirty 20.
Yeah, I'm still at a 25.
Right. So you move 20 feet. Do you want to try and climb that boulder, sir?
Yeah, I'm probably only gonna get halfway since I'm still.
Please give me an athletics check. Oh wait, no, you can't. Oh. You have a sword in one hand and a shield in the other.
Ah, well, forget that.
You run up to the boulder, look up. Oh, my hands are full. Choose a different route. And where do you go now? You have 10 feet remaining.
I'm over here.
Excellent. In that case...
Because I want to stay away from Dell, because I don't want to bring any attention to him already.
Well, he is revealed, so it's not much you can do about that. It is now the creature's turn. It spins around and locks eyes on you, Thea. And moves there. Thea, it is your turn.
Is it an acrobatics or an athletics check?
To climb the boulder?
Or she's just there?
Yep, she's right next to you.
Yeah, I'll just climb the boulder, and you said it was athletics this time, right?
It is an athletics check, yes. Which I believe the minimum you can get is a 19.
Correct.
That is an automatic success. You can climb up. However, before you move... Why do I keep doing that? Oh, wait, no. It's, okay, so it should have been at normal. Not that it would have mattered. A 25 or a 24, either would have hit. Her tail lashes out towards you and snakes around you. You're going to take 14. You can use your reaction to halve that to 7.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You take 7 bludgeoning damage, and you are currently grappled and restrained. And please give me a Constitution check to maintain concentration on... Constitution saving throw for greater invisibility.
It doesn't. It's not concentration.
Why did I put it?
It just lasts a minute.
Let me take that concentration check mark off of you then. I apologize, and thank you for catching that. Okay, so you tried to move, and she smacked you in the face with her tail. You are currently restrained, but invisible. What would you like to do?
To get away from her, is it acrobatics or athletics?
To try and... That's your choice, because you're grappled and restrained, so you can choose either. Whichever you prefer.
Okay. I'm going to do acrobatics, and while I'm doing it, can I try to climb on top of her?
Let's first see how you do with trying to get out of her grip.
Okay.
You said
The
acrobatics?
lowest I can do is 23.
Yeah, the lowest you can do is 23. You slip through her with a nat 1. You slip through her tail with the greatest of ease, as though you're covered in oil and bacon grease. Alright.
Wish I had that kind of luck.
That was your action to do that. Yes, go ahead and give me we're gonna do an opposed acrobatics check, if you're gonna try and get on her.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm going to climb on her back.
Okay, so go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. So 23, which is the lowest you can roll anyways. You get a 15, so yeah, you are on her back, and invisible, and no longer restrained, or grappled. Nice.
She's grappled.
I'm gonna say you're not grappling her, you're simply on her.
Okay, I'm on her.
Excellent. Is that it for your turn?
Yeah, I think that uses up my action and my movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well done.
She is going to, as you end your turn, she's going to use her reaction. Oops. Sorry. Why are you pinging, sir?
I don't know. Why were you pinging?
I'm not sure. She teleports out from under you, Thea.
Okay.
And is right next to you, Adran. Thea, I'm gonna say give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you land on your feet as you drop. Nice. You land solidly on your feet. Down in the south, Varin yells back up at you, Adran. I'm a little busy! Please roll me 2d6.
Mm-hmm. I miss those days in which I was rolling 64s and all that.
I'm currently tapped out for, I still have 3 spell slots left. I take another 7 damage from these chains. Ow. Varin snarls something rather uncouth. Adran and Thía, you both would know that Varin's parents would be horrified to hear that language out of Varin's mouth. And Varin's going to stab twice with the Darkwing Dagger. 28 and 18. Hang on. Both of those are going to hit. .24 damage. There is an ugly pop hiss noise as Varin stabs this thing twice and it dies. And Varin is suddenly
that's great.
no longer restrained by chains. Okay. Ow. Is this thing worth it or no? I think the issues up to the north are more important than some little insect. Varin rushes back northwards to try and rejoin the fight. That is going to trigger a reaction. Adran, you're right next to someone who wants to say hello.
Oh, of course.
With a tail slap.
Great.
I get a 25.
That hits.
Do you have any more spell slots?
I have 1 more left, and I was saving it to use Magic Missile on her.
What do you want to do?
You know what? Let her hit me.
Alright, you are currently grappled and restrained, and you take 18 bludgeoning damage, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 18.
Little foul elf, I want all your souls! The thoughts rip through your mind, almost as though leaving a stench and trail of acid in your thoughts. The very badly wounded green-skinned fellow here is going to reach out, touch all 3 of these warriors, and cast Plane Shift. They blink from existence and are gone. Triggering a reaction, Adran. Except this time she's not going to swing a sword at you, she's going to use the other feature of her tail attack that I kept on missing, and automatically hit you with her tail, basically squeezing you within her coils. So that is 2d10 plus 4. You take another 16 bludgeoning damage, Adran.
Oh, maybe I should have used shield.
And it's her turn. And you're the only one left, sir, so she's going to automatically hit you with her tail again.
Oh, come on.
So it's another 18. Oh gosh. And Dell's, you can just hear Dell. Hold tight, Adran! Because here comes 6 longsword attacks, sir. And you're restrained.
Oh, come on.
This is gonna be brutal. Alright, 1. Get a 20. Wait, how are you at negative 18?
I'm trying to do something and it's not letting me do it.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
40.
So first swing is a miss.
34.
Second swing. I get a 25. Would you like to shield that?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a good idea. So put your armor class is now 30 until your turn. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So that was 2 attacks out of 6. Number 3.
Come on.
I get 26. Number 4. That misses. Number 5. And last one. Nice. None of it hit. You escape all damage except for the tail.
Oh, I wish I had used it first.
Del.
Dang it. Why didn't I?
Because you were hoping for Magic Missile. Alright, so Del.
Yes, I wanted to use Magic Missile against a freaking creature.
I do not blame you, because ow! Okay, he currently how many charges does he have? He currently has 8 charges on his Staff of Healing. If he... I'm checking something. Sorry, give me a second. Cure Wounds? What's Cure Wounds?
I still haven't used my Sanguine Nonetheless special ability.
True. Okay. So Cure Wounds is... I need to look at the spell. I'm looking at it for the staff. What is the range on Cure Wounds? Oh, a creature he touches. That's problematic. So he cannot unless he gets close to you, which he won't be able to do this turn.
No, and I don't want him getting too close to me.
Especially with this thing.
Yeah.
However, he does have another option. And you're within range of that option, sir.
Well, I'm starting to feel a little numb here from being hit so many times.
Yeah. Alright, Thea, please roll me 3d8 plus... 3. Adran, you're going to recover 13 hit points as he uses his Staff of Healing to cast Mass Cure Wounds on you. He has 3 charges left.
Well, the numbness is starting to go away. That feels good.
3, not 5. There we go. Alright. And that's the end of his turn. Let's see. Automatically hit you for tail damage or attack you for the chance of a crit. Here comes an attack, sir. And you're still at 30, yeah?
Yep.
So his longsword bounces off your spherical shield. Good thing you cast that.
Yeah.
Down in the south, that insect creature that Varin just left behind burrows into the earth, disappearing from view. And one of you please roll me a d6. Okay. Alright, top of the round. As you're thinking about what you're doing, sir.
Say what?
Hold on, before you do anything.
Okay.
Do you remember that staff-wielding green-skinned warrior? He pops out into existence, coming out from beneath his shroud of invisibility. He turns and points at Del. And give me 1 second. Del. Strength check for Del. pulling out. Oh, he gets a nat 20.
Nice.
Del sees this creature appear, plants his feet solidly in the earth as the creature points and tries to grab him in a grip in an invisible grip, but fails. And the green skin guy is kind of like, what? All right, that is going to trigger a reaction. Here comes a longsword at you, Adran.
Mm-hmm.
You get a 22, which misses. Adran, it is your turn, sir.
All right. Well,
Fight's not
that's
over
it
yet.
for all my shield.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said that's it for all my spells there.
Oh dear. Didn't you recover hit points when Del cast healing on you? 16?
Yeah, I went from a 22 to a 35.
Gotcha. Okay. So you can attack at disadvantage, or you can try and escape. What would you like to do, sir?
Aren't I grappled?
You're grappled and restrained.
If I use my Sanguine special ability, is that like a bonus action or
That's
an
an action.
All right. Well. Gosh,
You could
what to
if
do?
you use that, it would be 48 hit points.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right. Thingman nonetheless to the rescue.
48 hit points. Here I come. 8 and 5 is 13. Go with 1, making that 5. Plus 3 is 8. Brings me up to 83 hit points.
Okay. You already used your bonus action, correct?
Yep.
Okay. You're looking a lot healthier than you were a moment ago, sir.
Yeah.
Alright, that is going to trigger an attack, a reaction. And you are still
Oh,
restrained.
boy.
And now at 25, yes?
25.
Okay, she slices down into you for 16 damage, sir.
Oh,
You
well.
have got to get out of there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. It is your turn.
Well,
Little help. Anything will help.
Anything.
Anything will do.
well, she'll go ahead and move to next to Adran and attack.
Excellent. You're attacking.
Is it
Hold on, let me think.
Is it
I
at
think this through.
disadvantage because she can see me technically?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you can get to where you can flank her, it'll be at normal because she can see you. You moved 40 feet, I believe.
Yeah,
So your bonus action.
I can
no,
take-
I forgot you have long strider on you. My bad.
right. I can bonus action dash to get around her. Though.
You would. Yes, if you climb on the rock to do so. Please give me athletics.
I'll do that.
which, yeah, athletics minimum 19. You are on the other side, so you're flanking. And give me an attack at normal. Nice moves, Thea.
Okay, here's that.
Yeah, that'll hit. She is immune to poison damage, so she's going to ignore the con save.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna double check that. Yes, I'm correct.
Okay.
And you're hitting with your weapon of warning, yes? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That is 32 damage, and it's the first time she's been hit this entire game. Watch that hit. That health bar. Health bar, goodness. Alright, anything else for you, Thea?
No.
She's going to turn and whip a longsword down towards you.
Look out!
You get an 18.
And misses.
You just barely twist to the side in time. Alright. Next.
Trust me, she's got 5 more where that came from.
Real quick, we're almost out of time. Do we want to finish this fight, or do we want to keep on, or do we want to call it a night?
Why don't we finish the round and then call it a night?
Well, it doesn't look like I'm going anywhere too soon.
Varin is going to move up 35 feet. Still in his area of darkness. So I can't see anything, but I can hear. I'm going to drop my dagger. Actually, no. I kind of have to do that. All right, I'm gonna drop my dagger, ending darkness on myself, so I can finally see. Oh, there's still one here. That thing is kind of out of my range for my sling attack, but this guy right here is not out of my range. So I'm going to attack the one I can. Oh, she's within my range, but at a disadvantage. So I'm going to sling attack that guy nearest me. Okay, yeah, both of those are gonna hit. It's the first time this guy's been hit as well. So that is 16 and 4 is 20 damage. Whoops, where'd it go? And there's 20 damage. Alright, that is going to trigger a reaction. Excuse me. Thea, coming at you. They get a 23. You can.
That hits.
Okay.
I'll uncanny it.
And I'm assuming you're going to do reaction to have that.
Mhm.
Okie dokie. Then we are to the deadly snake woman's turn. Alright, so Adran, you're going to take automatic damage from the tail. Which is 2d10 plus 4. There we go. So you're taking 10 damage. Excuse me. And then she's going to send 3 sword attacks at Thea. 19, 20, 21.
The 19 misses, but the rest hit.
That is going to be a total of 27 damage, Thea.
Okay, I'll calculate that out and get that taken care of.
Excellent. And sir, 3 attacks for you with advantage because of restrained. Or
Yep.
restrained. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
25 hits, 19 does not.
And the 24 also hits, I think, right? Or no, the 24 misses.
No.
Sorry, I'm misspeaking.
24 misses.
So the only one that's going to hit you is that 25 for 15.
Alright.
You got this. You got this. Keep on breathing. That's the key. Dell's turn. Things are getting a little hairy for him here. Oh wait, hold on. I totally forgot to do this. Constitution saving throw. Twice. Sorry everyone, give me 1 second. Where is Varin? 9. 11. So that guy's going to lose concentration.
Oh, wow.
Varin's first attack broke his concentration on whatever he was concentrating on.
Nicely done, Dell.
Thank you. Dell. Thinking. No. What about this one? Range. Oh dear, touch. He's going to stop concentrating on dancing lights, since that seemed to not have worked at all. Let go. 10. 15, 20, 25. I know, I'm disobeying your orders. Hold still. He's gonna place his hand on you, sir. And cast at first level, protection from evil and good. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. You cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed. So now all of her attacks against you are going to be at normal, as long as Del maintains concentration. Make sense?
Yep.
Excellent. He moved 25 feet to get there. There's an enemy to the south of him. He's going to go that way. And that's going to end his turn. He's going to trigger a reaction from the snake lady, who screams in fury and slashes at you, sir. Of course.
Yeah, with a crit.
What? That's 19 damage. To be fair, after all the times she attacks you with advantage, that's the first time she gets a crit. Jeez.
Somebody kill this woman.
You call that a woman? Because I sure don't.
Minus 19. It's 23. Well, back down to my 23.
Okay. Do any
So
good.
much for a walking tank when I'm grappled and hit with 6 sword attacks.
Well, you know, it doesn't help that this thing has 7 attacks. Alright, we are at the top.
No, it doesn't.
We are at the top of the round, Thea. Invisibility. Do you remember what round you cast it in?
Yeah, I have 5 more rounds left.
Excellent, thank you. Alright.
I've been putting a tick mark every turn I have.
Perfect.
So.
We are at the top of the round in a very, very, very deadly dangerous fight, it would seem. Who will carry the day, and hopefully can we avoid any lingering injuries? If we do get some, it might be worth it to go to that camp and see if they'd be willing to give us some aid. Yes, Adran?
Oh, yes.
Fair enough. Alright, well thank you both so much for playing. I hope you had fun, even though Adran is probably feeling a little battered.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And we are going to call it there. Thank you, fellow adventurers, for joining us once more. Please comment below to vote on what monsters you want to see Adran, Thea, and Varin take on next. You can vote for more than one kind at a time. Allosaurus, Death Dog, Ghoul, Giant Hyena, Giant Spider, Giant Vulture, Rhinoceros. Thank you for watching, and I hope we'll see you again next week.